The Ansem Report podcast is brought to you by Audible. Go to www.audibletrial.com to get your 30-day trial and free audiobook download.
Ooh.
One who knows nothing can understand nothing. Plunge deeper into the darkness, and your heart will grow even stronger.
Good tidings, and welcome to the Ansem Report podcast. This is Ansem Report number 10. We are at double digits, ladies and gentlemen.
Holy cow.
With me today is my brother, Jason,
Hello.
and the Master of Masters. He's on like a on 1 week, off 1 week kind of schedule here, but he's here with us today. How you doing, Addison?
Great. You know, I had to come back for number 10. So
Yes.
here, I made it for you today.
Oh, I appreciate that.
The
And
Big Ten.
I think the people at home appreciate that the most. Speaking of the people at home, we've been getting some great reviews on iTunes and other places. I'm going to read a couple for you guys right here. The first one is titled Yes from I'm a Beast Holmes, and it says, "Awesome stuff, guys. Look forward to every Friday to this now." And he gave us 5 stars. So we really, really appreciate that.
You are a beast.
You are a beast, Holmes. You're a beast. Holmes?
You're a
Holmes.
beast,
No
Holmes.
Holmes. There's no L. It's
Holmes?
Homes. Holmes. And then we have another one that I just got today, and I'm pretty excited about, called Great Stuff. Love the podcast. Big KH guy here, and needed a way to find KH fix in my post-KH3 blues. The addiction is real, but you guys keep it alive. Thanks. And that's from Gabriel R34. Gave us 5 stars. So
Thanks, Gabriel.
Gabriel and
Addiction
nice.
is real.
Right, that's super nice, and I'm glad we are like equivalent to like heroin for you, or at least. Well, I guess KH3 was the heroin. We're like the
Methadone?
knockoff.
we're the methadone or something to keep you going. But we really appreciate those reviews, guys. We just really want to have a podcast where we have a lot of fun. It's not ultra serious, and we really show our nerdy love for the characters and the storylines, and we try to make it funny and just have a good time. So we
Right.
appreciate you guys leaving us those reviews. Addison, what's been going on with you, man? Have you had any time to play any end game content in KH3? I know you've been a busy guy.
You know, I have been busy, so it's been tough for me to really dedicate a lot of time to it. But, yeah, I mean, this past weekend, I found myself with a hour or two of free time. I turned on the PS4 Pro.
Oh,
Ooh.
nice.
Got some Kingdom Hearts going. So I really haven't had enough time to finally get the Ultima weapon, Keyblade. So I've really, when I do find time, that's what I've been doing is just kind of slowly working towards that. So yeah, past weekend I finally completed all of the lucky emblems and started on the wonderful Flan games, which I don't know if they're really that wonderful, but some of them are okay.
Yeah, the only one I really didn't like was the one you had talked to me previously about, the Big Hero 6 one.
Yeah, awful.
'Cause
So
it's-
hard.
Because the mechanic of when you, and Jason will attest to this, but the mechanic of when you fall and you go into a dive, controlling where exactly Sora lands is almost impossible.
Yeah, it's so difficult.
And in order to get the high score, you have to land that at least one time.
Yeah.
Right.
And I struggled. I'd get there, and then I'd have to land it one time, and I'd miss, and I finally got it. I completed all the Flan games. Some were really easy. Actually, most were really easy. The Big Hero 6 one was tough. That took me a while.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's probably the only one that's going to take me, because I still haven't completed it. I think I've gotten the required high score on at least half of them already, and that was I think that was like doing them like while I was like before I even had beaten the secret boss, and I mean that was forever ago. I completed a lot of them.
Nice, yeah. Jason, have you done any of that Flan stuff?
No, not really. When I've been playing, I've been doing like speedrun stuff. And I was kind of torn because I wanted to play it, but when I play on my PlayStation, I have a SCUF controller that has the paddles, and I want to use them, but I don't want to use them because I don't use them when I speed run. So it's like I'm just like torn, and I end up like I'll just use a paddle, not thinking about it. And I'm like, no, like stop using the paddles, Jason.
You can use one of my controllers when you play on your PlayStation.
Stop making
And that will completely eliminate
solutions
the
to my problems.
That will completely eliminate that dilemma, dude. That's not a problem.
But yeah, so that's what happened the last time I tried to play.
This problem to be solved.
Yeah, it's almost like he wants to bring that controller into into here when we do the speedrunning stuff. So maybe you should just do that.
Maybe.
By the way, I watched most of your speed run that you posted on YouTube.
Oh.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, we got pretty unlucky.
I think I might have like fast forwarded through some of the less exciting parts, but I watched the majority of it.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Thank
Thanks.
you.
Yeah, we got pretty unlucky on a couple bosses. Like we had a barely improved time, but if we would have got the luck we've gotten on previous runs with the bosses, we'd have a really improved time. Like we would have probably improved our time by like a half hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got so unlucky.
I can't think of them off the top of my head, but I do recall some of those where it was just like, "Are you kidding me?" type moments.
Wreck-It Ralph in particular,
Yeah.
boned us because normally he's
on the Tangled boss.
Yeah, normally he's like
A one shot.
a one shot kind of guy in certain scenarios. In every scenario we tried to use him, he boned us.
Right.
He's a run killer, that Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah.
But
he wrecked your.
he wrecked our speed run. Yeah, absolutely. That's what I said.
He told us he was gonna wreck it.
And then he did. I guess we're done shooting the shit about Kingdom Hearts, huh?
Yeah.
We're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, we actually have a topic to discuss, and that topic is what we think the next Kingdom Hearts game should be. Not Kingdom Hearts 4, because based on what Tetsuya Nomura has said, the next Kingdom Hearts game will not be Kingdom Hearts 4. It will be a story that needs to be written yet. But I want to know what you guys and what I think about what the next spin-off should be. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll talk about that.
There is so very much to learn. Every light must fade. Every heart return to darkness.
Jason, let me ask you something.
What?
I'm going to ask you a very important question.
Okay.
Do you like books?
Yeah.
Do you like reading books?
Not really.
There's a disconnect there, right?
Yeah.
So you like books, but you don't like reading them.
No.
What if I told you there was a service that would read you the books like your mom used to do when you were a wee child? Just like your mom used to do when you were a wee child.
Wow.
It's called Audible.
Oh my God.
What if I also told you if you go to audibletrial.com/Ansem Report, you get a free trial to this service
Wow.
and a free audiobook download.
Double free.
You could probably even find books where the woman narrating it sounds like your mother.
Oh my God.
So it'd be like you could get a pacifier and a blankie, and it'd be just like your little baby.
Wow.
But you don't have to be a baby to like Audible. So go to www.audibletrial.com/Ansem Report now to get your free 30-day trial and audiobook download. It supports the show, and we appreciate it.
And it's free 99.
No, it's just free.
Free 99.
I'm sorry, people at Audible, that he's diluting the message, but it's free.
It's completely free. 99.
Oh, Lord.
It's free. 99.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Ansem Report podcast. We are going to be talking about Kingdom Hearts spin-off games, and not Kingdom Hearts spin-off games that you guys have actually played or heard of. These are ones that we created in our mind to come after Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yes.
Jason and I have already had a slight conversation about this, so I know he has a pretty good answer. So we're going to start with him. Jason, what do you got?
Okay.
All right.
So mine is featuring Best Boy, Axel.
Okay.
But he's not Axel, he's Lee, right?
Okay.
It's back in time. We're talking Isa
Oh,
and
so
Lee.
this is before they became members of the organization?
Yes, this is prequel,
Okay.
right? to kind of fill in some plot holes that we found out about randomly in KH3, them sneaking into the castle, right?
Mm.
And that's essentially what my game is going to be, is that story of them sneaking into the castle. But when they get into the castle, it's real wacky. At first, you just think it's real lighthearted, like, oh, like they're trying to sneak into the castle. See, it's cool, right? And then they get in, and it gets real dark. Like they go through like a dark portal. They go in, and in the secret reports in KH3, they talk about how there's just like cells and people are just, it's just super dark in there. And like, oh my God, like it was almost like how I think of like, it reminded me of reading like creepypastas when I was younger. Just like, oh, it tries to make the hair on the back of your neck stand up type stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just,
So
I'm thinking it's like, imagine like Persona 5 dungeon type stuff.
Okay.
Where it just keeps going, and it's like real crazy, wild, out there.
is it turn
but
based?
also has some stealth elements to it where like when you hit them before they hit you, you're gonna do a lot of damage and possibly even just one shot them and keep going.
Okay, so let me get this straight. You, guy that hates stealth sections in Kingdom Hearts games, wants a Kingdom Hearts stealth game.
Yeah, but they would actually do it well. They're not gonna just like slap it on
Are you
there.
sure?
Would they though?
In my game, it would be done well.
Is Osaka team making this? Because
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Imagine, imagine you're like, you sneak up and you're like hiding behind like a box or something and you see this dude around the corner, right?
Mhm.
Freaking Axel just makes his chakra or whatever come out and he throws it and knocks him out and then it comes back. That type of stuff.
Did he have chakras as a human?
He had the
frisbee?
the
Frisbee
like
thing.
frisbees, right?
Okay.
But like when they go in, they get these powers because everything's crazy.
Okay, I just had a thought, actually.
Okay.
I just had a thought. So when you're Lee in the game, that's how the game is. But when you're Isa, it's a side-scrolling beat 'em up. And he has his big sword, and he's just beating the crap out of people. it's like why can't I think of the iconic game that's a beat 'em up? The Final Fight, not Final Fight.
Hello?
Streets of Rage. It's like Streets of Rage.
Okay.
And you're just scrolling down the street and you're just smacking people, and then you use your moon power.
Okay.
Because I don't think Isa's really like a sneaker. He's not a. Like Axel's an assassin, so that makes sense. for him.
Okay. So So this is how it goes. You get to a certain point, but if you get caught, then it turns into Isa time, right?
So
It
wait,
turns into
Isa
like-
just appears.
It turns into like no, like they're together, but Axel's taking the lead, right?
Oh, okay.
Then when you get caught, it's kind of like brr, brr, like red alert, like there's an intruder, and then you just get swarmed, right? And then you
Okay.
have to, and then Isa, they kind of like switch, like who's in the front,
Mhm.
and then Isa kind of like smashes through them, and then once like you get to like a safe spot, then it get like they lost you.
Okay.
Now you go back to Axel's stealth mode.
How much story do you actually think is there to tell? Just
So I've got a question about this, Jason.
Okay. This game that I've thought about for 20 minutes.
So in this game, you haven't mentioned Disney at all. Is there any Disney in this game?
Well, I mean, it's in
Hollow Bastion.
Hollow Bastion, so you'd see people outside because like not the whole game would happen inside the castle because like it says like they've gotten caught and thrown out multiple times, and like going and meeting whoever this mysterious girl is. So there's a lot of story right there, but I feel like maybe there's some very dark things that could happen where in one of the cells there's like Dumbo or something.
Oh my god!
What?
And Dumbo's just like,
Kill me.
and then you save him
two
though.
Characters are being held against their will in the Hollow Bastion jail cells.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ansem the Wise is doing experiments on them.
Yeah.
Cause
I always knew that guy was an asshole.
right, definitely. I much prefer the other Ansem.
Second question:
Okay.
What console is this game on? Like, what type of, like, are we talking like?
Yeah, this sounds like a
Uh,
3DS game to me.
I'm thinking the Switch.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It's kind of dumbed down graphics here, or
I mean, like,
There's some good-looking games on
there's
the
some,
Switch.
yeah, there's some good-looking games on the Switch.
no, that's not what I was trying to get at. I was just trying to say, is this? It's not going to be like a hyper realistic, like, I mean, especially if you're talking about Ice's version being a side scroller.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if it kind of had some like cell-shaded stuff going on. Like the art style was purposely not like realistic. I think
okay.
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Because then, like, the scarier things could be, like, scary, but still, like, okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea for a game. I'd
Yeah.
play it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a cell phone game.
No. No. Don't you dare do that to my game. All right? You know what? Your game's bad. I already
Hey,
know.
You don't even know my
Your
game
game's
is yet.
bad. Your game's a cell phone game.
No, it's definitely not a cell phone
Your
game.
game's a cell phone game. Like an old cell phone game.
I really like your game idea. Don't get so
like
upset.
It's worse than Snake.
My thought is, I feel like I like where you're going, because I feel like that is a plot that they're really like hinting at, like it's important. So they have to touch on it at some point. I just question whether or not that's like a whole game. Like, there'd have to be more for it to be a whole game, in my opinion.
I don't know. They can throw some filler in there.
Well, I think
Well-
it would need some kind of component of what you do when you're just hanging out in the town.
Yeah.
Like, do you go talk to people? Do you, like, buy items to... Because it sounds like not really a roguelike, because you're going through the dungeon, and the dungeon's the same every night, but you get farther and farther each night. That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah, yeah. I'm thinking like when you okay, so there's like in the story, like there's certain story elements as like when you get to think of it as like a checkpoint, there's a story beat, right?
Right.
And then if you get caught, then you get kicked out, and then
Right.
you have to try and get stronger, like switch up some abilities or items and stuff.
Okay.
Go back in, and then you have to try and go farther.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That type of thing.
Yeah, I'm into it. But yeah, there would have to be some kind of town component where, you can go talk to the Scrooge
Demix
McDuck.
is somebody.
Scrooge McDuck, or whoever else was around in Hollow-Bastion during that time when it had all the cool fountains and stuff. Or
Merlin.
Radiant Garden. Sorry, Radiant Garden.
Merlin.
I don't think Merlin was there.
Yeah, I think he was.
Maybe.
Yeah, he was.
In Radiant Garden?
He's in there in BBS.
You're right, he is. I forgot he's there. His house is in the same spot. Yep.
But looks a little different.
It's a little different, but it's supposed to be, I think, the same spot it's in 2.
Mm.
Not in 1, obviously. 1, he's in like a moat or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird.
He's in the dirt.
Yeah, he's not doing well. Any other comments about your game here? What's the title of this game? You got to have a good title.
Oh no, I can't just think of a title off the top of my head.
I'll start explaining my game, and you think of a title.
I'll think of one.
So my game, while Jason's makes sense from the standpoint of they need to tell the story, mine really doesn't. But I want a 3v3 fighting game in the style of like Dragon Ball Fighters, where it has there aren't any Disney characters because Disney would never allow that. But it's Sora, Riku, all the organization members, all the Warriors of Light, basically any anime-esque character that's been in this game. And when you just play, like if it's on the PlayStation 4, if you just play, Jason and I are sitting next to each other, we have a controller, it's a 3-on-3 game. But the story mode is you're just Sora. And basically Sora, after he disappears at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3, spoilers everybody, he ends up in this Dragon Ball-esque type tournament world where he basically has to enter this fighting tournament to become alive again, is what he's told. And so at first you start fighting like characters that are kind of generic and they're not anybody to you. And then every character he fights after that is someone he's met before, whether it's Riku or an organization member or whatever. And then at the end, you fight Master Xehanort and beat him. And then what it turns out is it was all a dream in Sora's head.
And then you fight the final boss, which is Hayner, and he does the super kick.
Yeah, Hayner super kicks you. But so that way it's just like a filler story that doesn't mean anything to the overall arcing story. It's just something that went on in Sora's head while he was like transferring to wherever he's going after Kingdom Hearts 3. I think that'd be dope. I think if they all had like super moves, you know, like like Marvel vs. Capcom or Dragon Ball FighterZ, like that kind of game, and you could like, you know, just team up. I think if like Sora's super move was basically the way he ended Master Xehanort in 3, where Donald and Goofy suddenly show up, because it can get real wacky.
Yeah.
Because it's a dream, right? So like you could have them do crazy stuff. So they're just like, "We're here for you, Sora," and then they do the move, and then they're off screen again, and they're gone.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Just stuff like that would be super cool. I'd be really into a game like that.
I dig it. I think I feel like we all want whether it's like a dedicated game or Smash Bros or cameo or a cameo in another game. We all want a Kingdom Hearts character or all of them in a fighter game in some regard.
For sure. I mean, I would take him in Smash as a consolation to that, but I just think that game would be super cool. And I can like see the
scrap this entire game if he's in Smash.
No, I'm saying if I don't get this game and I just get Smash, I'm okay with that. But like I can see like the fighter select screen and it just looks awesome. And it's like the bottom third of the screen is all the characters, right? In their little square boxes. There's their faces or whatever. And then as you're highlighting the character, his model appears on the left or the right, depending on what side you are in it. And then the background's like the Keyblade graveyard, and there's like lightning going off and stuff. And I don't know. I'm like, it's the game I wanted Dissidia NT to be.
Okay.
Which is the Final Fantasy fighting game, but then like you can't play local co-op because the screen's too small, and that game was disappointing for a lot of reasons. But I want it to be more of a 2D fighter as opposed to a 3D arena fighter like Dissidia is. I'd be really pumped for that. That's my game. So it's not as cool as Jason's, but it's...
I got more for my game.
Oh, you have more for your game?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I didn't come up with a title.
Yeah. Okay, do you want me to explain mine while you come
explain
up
your
with
game.
a
I'll come
title?
up with a title.
Okay. So mine is called Kingdom Hearts The Hollow Bastion. Okay, now, okay. So one of the
You're
things
so excited
was...
about this.
One of the things
I actually
was...
liked it. I like that name.
Okay, where's the story, right? The story will lead up to how it becomes Hollow Bastion. Right? So when you're going into town, you see all the Final Fantasy boys, you know, they're all there, right?
But they weren't...
That's,
they were
that's
there.
their world,
Yeah, you're right.
right?
You're
Or
right.
like that's the canon, their world, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you see all of them, and anyway, so as they're going in, it leads up to how like there's some deep, like terrible darkness down there. Like maybe it gets to the point where like Xehanort like becomes Ansem and Xemnas or whatever, and then they do something awful. Maybe you fight both of them. That would be dope. Wouldn't really make a whole lot of sense.
No, it wouldn't.
But it would be dope. Anyway, but then the game ends and it's just like it, where it blows up and becomes Hollow Bastion. And then maybe there's some like cut, like the epilogue shows like it cuts to that music that we use for our podcast, and then it kind of shows like its destruction,
and then it shows
everything.
like Squall going, "I have to change my name to Leon."
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
can
is
we get a
important.
game dedicated to why he changed his name?
Yeah.
So I don't know if we
Secretly,
talked about
that
this.
is why.
Sidebar. I don't know if we talked about this, but I learned why he called him Leon. Did we talk about this, Addison?
I think we did.
We did?
I don't off the top of my head. I don't remember what the reasoning was, but I feel like we did talk about this.
So you read a letter from Mickey when you're Donald and Goofy that says "Find Leon," and Nomura didn't want to reveal that it was Squall. Like he wanted that to be the big reveal. Oh, it's Squall from Final Fantasy VIII. So he couldn't say "Find Squall" because obviously that's who it is. So he called him Leon. That's why.
Gotcha.
If we talked about that before, I
think that's cool. I don't think we have.
Really?
No, I don't think we have. I thought it was something else.
I don't think we have on air.
I think we made up a reason, and that's what we talked about. But yeah, so that's a fun side note. Oh, and that's the other thing about my game. Final Fantasy characters from Kingdom Hearts could be in it too. So you could have Leon
Yeah, that's what I assume.
and Cloud and Yuffie
Yeah.
and Tifa and Sephiroth and Vivi.
Yeah,
And
Vivi would be
Setzer.
OP. Hidden OP.
Kid Tidus and Kid Waka and Kid Selfie. They're just getting beat up by grown men. That'd be awesome. Not that part specifically, but the game itself would be awesome. Anyway,
That part specifically, best game.
specifically when they beat up the children. So Addison, do you have a game for us?
You know, I've kind of pulled something out of my ass. It's never gonna happen.
I
Okay.
like it. I like it
But-
already.
But I feel like I pulled this together on short notice. So, all right, you guys are gonna think this is so stupid, and it probably is. It's so stupid because one, I feel like these games aren't even popular anymore. Two, I'll never have enough time to play it, and three, it's just never gonna happen.
Okay.
But Kingdom Hearts online MMO.
I somehow knew that's where this was going.
So I don't know if anybody plays MMOs anymore because I haven't touched one in
Believe it or
ages.
not, Final Fantasy 14 still has a pretty big user base.
Oh, see, that already really puts the kibosh on that ever happening because Square already has like.
Right, they already have their MMO, yeah.
But let me pitch this idea.
Pitch it anyway. Throw it at me.
So both of you guys kind of cut ties with Disney on this. Not me. You got to have
Ooh.
Disney in the MMO. All right. You got to go to the world, all the worlds.
The
So-
same worlds we've gone to.
Yeah. So
Nice.
this is basic. I mean, really, all this is like Union Cross.
I
but,
was
like,
just going to say, isn't this Union Cross? Don't we already
But,
have
like,
this?
on a much bigger scale, right? Yeah, that's basically what it is. But and there's not much really to go into. I mean, it'd be a Kingdom Hearts MMO. You create your Keyblade wielder. There are factions. I don't know if I would really want it to be related to the foretellers. But I think it could be. I think it could be something. It would almost have to be like lore that doesn't exist now, which is
Like
really
deep future.
yeah, like where maybe in the deep future the
Everyone's a Keyblade wielder.
yeah, right. So the key, like the power of the Keyblade is now being passed on, because you think about it, like when KH1 came out, there was like one Keyblade wielder, right? That
Yeah,
was
and then
it.
they retconned that.
And now we've got a bunch.
Yeah.
I mean, not a bunch, but we got a good handful. So maybe they take the series forward with a scenario where the Keyblade wielders that we know and love start to take on pupils, and then they take on pupils, and we're in a future where the worlds are full of Keyblade wielders like they were before the original Keyblade War. So
I think I have the scenario for you. Because of
Okay.
Sora's sacrifice and defeating Master Xehanort, most of the evil in the world is gone, and getting trained as a Keyblade wielder isn't necessarily a thing for defense anymore. It's just what you do. It's like, oh, you learned karate. Like, it's kind of like that. Like, this is like hundreds of years in the future, right? And
Right,
then a great
right.
evil returns, and they all have to come together to take it down.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So it's basically Star Wars.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
This has always basically been Star Wars.
Yeah, pretty much. Light and dark,
Yeah.
all that stuff. But so you would form factions and stuff like that, and it'd be your typical MMO, but Kingdom Heartsified. And the
Does
name
this
of
have
it
a
would
fee?
Is this subscription based
Yeah.
or is it a game
I
as
mean,
service?
if I want it to be any good, yeah, it's
It's
$10 a
subscription
month.
All right. Okay. I'm in on one condition:
Okay.
that I can design a Keyblade wielder to be the same race as Goofy.
No.
Wait, so you want
That's out.
I want an upstanding dog man to be.
I
And
mean, I mean, if a mouse can be a Keyblade wielder, why not a dog
Right.
man?
For $5.99, Mike, your dream can come true.
Yeah, I'll pay $5.99 a month if I can have a big dog man with fluffy pants.
No, you pay for the subscription and you have to pay. He's an extra.
What?
He's an extra class.
Oh my god, I gotta pay for the goofy
Yeah,
class?
he's the warden class.
All right, I'll
Yeah,
I'll do it. Whatever.
this is an expensive game.
Yeah, I'll pay $5.99 for Goofster. As long as I can have fluffy pants with them, like big, that make me look thick, like Goofy.
Yeah, so we'll have different races and different classes like any other MMO would, and abilities and stuff like that. And the name of the MMO is Kingdom Hearts Online. Our hearts connected.
Oh,
Okay.
I like the subtitle. Yeah, I was like, wow, that's kind of a generic title until you hit me with the subtitle, and I was into it then.
I like Kingdom Hearts Online.
Our Hearts Connected.
Kingdom Hearts Online.
Mine would be Kingdom Hearts Budokai Tournament of Darkness.
Budokai.
So stupid. Does anybody else have any serious ideas about what the next spin-off game is going to be?
Okay, serious idea.
Because I think our ideas, while they would be great, are not happening.
It's either like Luju backstory.
I think they're going to tell that in Union Cross.
You think so?
Yeah.
That's lame and whack, and I disagree.
Yeah.
Completely, 100%.
I'm just telling you.
What are you doing, Nomura? I know they're money hungry, but please save us. Also,
Do people still really? I mean,
it
I
makes
don't know.
a ton of money.
Does it? I mean, I was
Yes.
hooked for a little bit, but I don't play it anymore. I just watch the
Like-
scenes on KH Insider.
Yep.
Like every update they release, it's like printing money because they make more OP characters, better synergies, stuff like that.
Yeah. More medals.
Yeah, more tiers. So like tier breaking.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they could still do something.
The quote he said in the interview was, "There's another story that needs to be told first." What possibly needs to be told first before we discover what Sora's fate is?
It's Ventus's
Unless that is the story that he means, is that Kingdom Hearts 4 is when Sora returns, and this whole thing where he ends up in Shibuya is the
It's not
side
even
story.
KH4.
Right.
So could it be? Could it be a side story where, the worlds come under attack while Sora is gone, and
It could be
Yeah.
some of
a
some
Garlic
of
Jr.
the other
saga
characters-
situation.
Yeah, so where some of the other characters have to step up while Sora's gone to defend the light.
See, I'd be into that because I feel like our other two trios didn't get a whole lot of time in Kingdom Hearts 3. They were saved, and they had their stories kind of resolved from the previous games. But I would have loved to spend more time with Roxas, or with Roxas, Axel, and Xion, or Terra, Aqua, and Ventus. You said something pretty interesting a second ago, Jason, where you were like, we need to find out what Ventus's deal is. But again, I think they're telling that in Union Cross.
Also whack and lame, and I don't agree.
I'm just telling you. I think that's where they're going with that. But yeah, it would be cool if there was like a Garlic Jr. saga scenario where Goku's dead, so we have to defend the world against this maybe not as strong enemy as Master Xehanort, but someone who poses a threat. I think that'd be cool. I mean, what I was talking about where they say where I was saying maybe this whole Shibuya thing isn't Kingdom Hearts 4. We were watching the Sunset Horizon secret movie after KH2 going, oh my god, Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to be so dope. And it was Birth by Sleep. It wasn't even Kingdom Hearts 3.
Right.
So it's very possible that's what it is. I mean, we won't know anything for sure until they announce something, right?
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it's more likely that the epilogue is related to Kingdom Hearts 4, and that the secret movie and Yozora are something separate.
Yeah,
side game.
I don't disagree with that. I just think knowing them, it's very possible they're going to try to tell that story in Union Cross too.
Yeah, it could be, but I just wonder. Do you think so? He says a story has to be told.
That
Will
was the
this story.
quote I read. Yeah.
Yeah. So will this story be told in one game, or are we gonna get
He
just a
said it might be
plethora?
2.
Well, yeah,
It might-
he was very vague, and part of that might have been the translation, but there was he said something about he might have to sandwich it in between projects, and we don't know if he meant like other projects that aren't Kingdom Hearts related, or if he meant this is all Kingdom Hearts he's talking about.
Maybe I read the wrong translation because I read that was he has another story that he needs to tell, and he doesn't know if he needs to put it into 2.
I think there are multiple translations of it, and it's hard to know unless you speak Japanese exactly what they meant.
Yeah.
Or if you're in the room, it's hard to know exactly what he meant, basically.
Right. Yeah. That too.
Because what I read, it was about and I thought when he was talking about sandwiching the projects, the way I took it is he's talking about Final Fantasy VII Remake and something else, not Kingdom Hearts, and sandwiching Kingdom Hearts in between that.
Whack. That's
not whack. Because if the second project, like I told you last week, is Final Fantasy X-3, then I'm there for
on
that.
this podcast. I don't care. That's whack. I only want Kingdom Hearts. Get the hell out of here.
Hey,
Final
now.
Fantasy X-3. What kind of name is that?
Do you guys think the Kingdom Hearts fan base will be mad if the next side game that does come out is brand new characters and doesn't involve any of the established groups of characters?
I think so, and I think that would be crazy considering the amount of characters we've built up to now.
Yeah.
Who aren't getting attention. It's kind of a Marvel situation, like you talked about off air, where it's kind of like, Captain Marvel. I saw that and I thought it was a good movie, but did we really need another character?
So my point with that whole question about with the fans be mad is, as I agree, I feel like Nomura has written himself in a corner where he just has to reuse and recycle the same characters over and over again until who knows when.
Right? No, I agree. And part of the issue is that they haven't really killed off any characters or got rid of any characters or let characters retire or whatever it might be, except for Ericus and Master Xehanort at this point.
Okay, dying.
And he even said in one of those interviews we read last week that he has a whole nother story he wanted to tell with Xehanort, but then the Dark Seeker saga wouldn't have ended, so he shelved it for now. So it's possible that he could have a whole nother game where it just talks about chess playing young Xehanort.
Well, and that's another thing that I feel like going into KH3, a lot of people, based on the trailers and stuff like that, thought we were going to get some backstory.
Right.
Other than the two boys playing chess, some backstory on Xehanort and how he was, pulled into the darkness and stuff like that. Because how did his eyes become yellow? All that stuff. And
right.
We never got any of that stuff. So that's a whole game right there.
That's the kind of thing I could see if when they do Final Mix DLC or whatever they end up calling it, and it does very well. Square Enix likes money, which I don't mean that as a negative. All companies like money.
Right.
But I could see them, if that does really well, them going, hey, Nomura-san, can you do some more DLC? And then he goes, well, I guess I'll tell the rest of the Dark Seeker story now. I could see that happening. I don't know if that's a game, though.
I think it could be.
I don't know.
Because the original rumor was that the tutorial of Kingdom Hearts 3, you were young Xehanort or Ericus. That was the original rumor. Didn't come to pass that way. The game didn't have much of a tutorial. It just had the
first world.
It had the
2.9.
The final world, where you start and you fight the dark side. That's made of water. But yeah, interesting stuff. It's exciting to see where Kingdom Hearts is gonna go. I'm excited to see what where it goes. I don't think it's gonna be any of our game suggestions, unfortunately, as cool as they would all be.
Absolutely not. But man, I mean, he's got a lot of options with all the characters he's got to work with.
Right. Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting a 358/3 and then a sequel to Birth by Sleep would be called. So there's just like a smaller game focused on one trio and a smaller game focused on another trio.
Yeah.
And then we get Kingdom Hearts 4. I'd be into that. Honestly, I at this point, because we're in the KH3 doldrums of having played the game and we're kind of just waiting on DLC announcements and all that. I'd be fine to get any kind of Kingdom Hearts game.
I think something terrible is going to happen in the DLC.
Like, what do you mean?
Because right now, like, okay, like, there's nothing that's really, like, with, like, everyone's, like, character arcs. There's no clear story besides one, the Ventus, right?
Uh-huh.
And then with, like, Roxas, Axel, and Shion, I can't really think of anything. And Isa, you know what I mean? Like, they're all
good now, yeah.
Yeah.
They're just eating ice cream.
Right. So I can't really think of anything for them where I feel like maybe something's going to happen in DLC to where it's like, okay, now you have this to look forward to. Now this is the bad guy type thing.
Okay.
Because right now it's like, no, we have no idea.
Well,
the only thing is we need Sora might be dead or whatever, and then Kairi, who knows what's going on with Kairi.
Well, and that...
So
go ahead, Addison.
I was gonna say, so Jason, you're kind of alluding to maybe the DLC is going to give us a taste of what's to come rather than filling in storylines that we kind of thought were missed out the first time with KH3.
Yeah. I think it's more to set up.
I think it's going to be both.
Yeah?
Because he's already said that he's going to explain how Shion came to be again in DLC. I think there's going to be a couple scenes, just like any Final Mix has done, where they show us, hey, this didn't really make sense, but now it does more, or at least that question was answered. There might be more questions now, but we answered one question. But then I also do think we're going to get like we're going to get some secret boss that's like Yozora or something like that.
Right.
And we're going to get a new secret movie that expounds on the Master of Masters being in the real world and with Yozora or whatever version of the world that is. I think we're going to get a little more info on that. None of it's going to make sense, but I could probably bet that we're going to play Kingdom Hearts 4 down the road and beat it and then go, none of this makes sense.
Yeah.
So
None of it ever makes sense.
Right. That's not a new feeling, but it's a feeling I kind of like as a Kingdom Hearts fan.
Yeah, it kind of keeps, like, I mean, it kind of generates these conversations that we have on this, podcast and when we're just offline talking as well.
I got to tell you, because if that game ends, 3 ends with Kairi and Sora sitting on the palm tree and he doesn't disappear, I don't know that I'm as excited about Kingdom Hearts 4. What do you guys think of that comment?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like, as much as I wanted him to have his happy ending, it's kind of like everybody got their happy ending. Not everybody can.
Yeah.
And I think we all kind of thought maybe I don't think we thought that, it was going to be Sora that didn't get the happy ending. But
yeah, I thought it was Riku for sure.
Right.
I thought Riku was going to be Dunzo, and we were...
And now he's with Naminé.
Yeah, that's interesting, too. Now he's hanging out with Naminé. He gets blonde Kairi. And,
right.
We got a fun comment. Remember, we talked about how it was blonde Kairi and emo Kairi?
Yeah.
We got a comment from a reader that said emo Kairi is best Kairi.
Emo Kairi.
And I responded with, Kairi is best girl, non-Aqua division. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, let us know what you guys think Kingdom Hearts' future is. What's going to happen next? I mean, obviously we know we're getting DLC, but what the spin-off game is, or you didn't even say spin-off. He just said a story had to be told, and I just assumed spin-off, I guess.
It's Aqua Terra backstory.
No, that's the fan fiction I'm writing.
Oh,
it's not safe for work, folks. So if you click the link I put down in the description, make sure you're in a safe place. It's hot. It gets real hot. Lots of keyblade action. So keyblading. Lots of keyblading. Yeah. Oh, I just got a weird thought about what that is. So yes, family friendly. That's about all we got to talk about this week. It's kind of a slow Kingdom Hearts news week, and our episodes have been hour longish, kind of a little over an hour longish in the past. We're probably gonna it's probably gonna be more like this, 45 minutes to an hour in the future, just because the news is slowing up a little bit. Eventually, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna get into revisiting some of the older Kingdom Hearts games, like 1 and 2 and all that, in the future. And that will be some of our podcast content. And then we're still going to keep you abreast of the news. And we're also going to, when that DLC comes out, we're going to hop on it real fast. So be looking forward to that. If you guys want to hit us up on email, you can hit us up at the Ansem Report Podcast. Or sorry, not the Ansem Report Podcast at gmail.com. If you want to ask us any questions, want to give us a discussion topic, or just want to say hello, you can rate us on Apple. Give us a 5-star. If you give us a 3-star, I send it back. If you give us a 2-star, I send it back. If you give us a 1-star, then whatever.
We deserved it.
Yeah, we deserved it then. Next week, what we're going to try to do is there's this theory out there. There's this big theory out there. It's a big old theory.
It's a giant.
It's called the sleeping, Mike forgot,
the
sleeping realm theory. It's if you go on Google and type in Sleeping Realm Theory KH3, you will find it. It's a gigantic Google Doc. It has like 100, 200 pages, something like that.
Yeah.
There's pictures, there's video in it. It's a very good read. Jason and I have already read through it. Addison's going to catch up on it. But it's a pretty interesting theory, and it makes a lot of good points. So I think we're going to talk about that next week, unless something really newsworthy pops up, like they announced DLC or something like that. So that's what you guys have to look forward to next week. Masters Addison, thank you for joining us again. It was wonderful to have you on.
Always a pleasure.
Jason, as always, thank you for joining me in this podcast endeavor. I'm Mike. I don't think I ever announced myself. Hello. And this is the end of the podcast. Addison, hit him with that beautiful, amazing quote.
Oh, yeah, definitely. All right, people. May your hearts be your guiding key.
Wow. I'll never get sick of that. Oh, is he back? Addison, are you back?
Yeah, I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. We didn't after what I said about Captain Marvel. We didn't hear anything from you.
Oh, okay. I don't think I said much. I was gonna. Yeah. So, point. I feel like Nomura has written himself in recycling over and over again.
Addison, do you remember the thing in The Office where Michael Scott is calling Jim and asking him what to do, and Jim's on his honeymoon?
Yes.
Literally, that whole sentence you just said was like that. You would say every inconsequential word, and then the word that mattered was gone, and you trailed off. It was super funny.